What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. Was asked by a few people if I have encountered someone who I thought was a New World Order agent, given the full extent of the story. Um, I definitely have someone I think that is or was, and he's still trying to come back in my life. And it's kind of weird because he's the arguments that I had with there's like, why does he still insist on coming back, trying to get back into my life? If you're on my Facebook page or pages, because I have two, you definitely seen him, Mr. Ernest. Some of you guys already know who he is, so I talk about him in my past videos. You guys seen pictures, and you're probably also wondering why these pictures disappeared, why there hasn't been any updates. So I'm going to cover all that, and also why I think he's an agent. So back in 2019, around February, so almost like the third or fourth year anniversary of meeting him, he came to me, and I was working as a security guard in FedEx. Shout out to all my peoples in FedEx. No! Great, congratulations. So I just had to get that out. So my antics like that got me extremely popular over there. Known for my charisma, and if you guys see my past videos, you get advice on how to be charismatic. But anyway, so on Facebook, I'm not sure if he added me. To tell you, he was just out of nowhere. I don't even remember adding him or him adding me. He just came out of nowhere and asked me to be his trainer. And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, because I tried to be a personal trainer to try to get out of FedEx and not work as hard, because I was working 7 days a week, third shift. I'm back to working third shift now, but I hated it there, and no one likes it there. And I acted the way I did. It got me popular, but at the same time, one big reason why I acted the way I did was we were bored, and the package handlers were even saying we looked us security guards that were in the shaft looked so miserable, and we were, because we had no internet. They didn't give us Wi-Fi. It was crazy, and they expected us to stay awake, and everyone fell asleep except for one. Shout outs to Eric Fagan. So he messages me and wants me to work. No, his inspiration to message me was the whole thing with Speedos. So you guys remember my past videos where I say don't be afraid to be different? Well, this is why, because me and the whole thing with Speedos, that got me the client. I mean, it turned into a bad thing in the end, but the steps that were taken to finally get to where I am, and meeting someone that would help me get out of FedEx and start personal training, started with the Speedos. So not start personal training, but get enough clients to get out of there, and that's where that began. So again, do not be afraid to be different. You never know where it could lead you, and it leads you to something good. So anyways, so He wants me to wear. He has this big thing with spandex because he's a biker, not a motorcycle, a cyclist. So, um, it's okay, fine. I was a little nervous about wearing the spandex because I wasn't sure how the gym at the time would, if they allowed it with their dress code. Um, and he requested to do commando, so not wearing any underwear under the spandex. And you know, when I see a girl and certain body parts are revealed, so I was a little nervous about that. But yeah, the first year, which is 2009, went great. For some reason, and you've probably heard the story already if you see my past videos. So for some reason, when 2020 hit and the lockdown happened, he just started giving me a hard time, like just starting arguments over the dumbest stuff. And I was like, what is, you guys remember me telling you on my past videos about the negative energy that has progressed when the lockdown happened. Like, if people were just, getting so easily agitated, and he was one of them. And, we were talking every day. He was calling me his best friend, his brother, Spandex brother, that I was his hero, times 100, times 1,000. And I don't know what was his deal. It was just starting arguments. And, the pandemic was stressful enough. Well, actually, I kind of enjoyed it. The lockdown, we're still in the pandemic. So my fellow conspiracy theorists and New Age people chill with, saying, oh, there's no more COVID, because it's still happening. It's part of the depopulation of the earth. The war is just another thing adding to it as we're dealing with COVID. And, raising the gas prices is all stress us out. So anyways, back to the one individual, the agent that was stressing me out. Especially during when the summer hit, he just started giving me like a hard time lately. I'm like, dude, what's up with you? You've been giving me such a hard time lately. I thought maybe he was stressed from work because during the pandemic his work picked up. And, so then the Kyle Rittenberg thing happened, and I was like, we were talking, and I was not poking fun at, I was just laughing at how you guys, what I say about the media, television, televised through vision. I was saying, how people are easily fooled by this. There's no way he just, passed through those. I forgot the video. It was army trucks or police video, and he had his hands up, and they didn't do anything. There's just no way. It's just trying to rev up the whole. The Black Lives Matter thing happened, and it was happening, all these riots. So it was trying to amp up the negative energy from that. So I, I'm sorry. So before I get to that, I had lost my car. The serpentine belt came off, and the car started spewing out coolant, and I was also driving it, and it was overheating, but the overheating gauge didn't go to, it was overheating. It didn't go up to the danger zone, So I got to work, and I was like, what's going on, So I thought maybe he was stressed from that, but he started giving me a hard time over that. So um, I think he wanted to go. He were expressing ideas to go to Maine. He wanted me to come up with him to Maine, and I could never go because I always had to work, and like a baby, he was. He was just basically. I just said it. He was just being a baby about it, and you would think he would understand because he works too. You have to make a living, and he was just not understanding or not wanting to understanding because surely with someone with his work experience, he's older than me, should understand that, right? Um, so anyways, I had lost weight, got really ripped. Oh yeah, so back to the Kyle Rittenberg thing. He starts giving me a hard time. He starts bringing up the car, and and it just leads to a big argument. And I'm like, dude, I didn't come to argue with you, and he just insisted on arguing. I'm also, while this is going on, I'm waiting for my boss for my moving job to pick me up. So my boss actually does come and picks me up, and I said, look, I have to go. And he got mad that I wouldn't stay to argue with him. So he was basically, and I needed him because he was a source of income to help me save for a car. And he was just, I'm not talking to you again. So I had to risk getting fired, both my jobs a few times to calm him down because over arguments, he starts, so, and it's every time I talk about spirituality, because another thing with him is he wanted me to help improve his personal development. So I was giving him all the advice I could possibly give to him that I went through to help me in my personal development, and so he doesn't make the same mistakes. It's easier for him, and he doesn't make the same mistakes I made, and then he just wouldn't listen. He would just give me a hard time because it had something to do, if anything, it had something to do with spirituality, or something just not mainstream. He would just give me a hard time over, and it was just ridiculous. Because why bother asking someone to help improve you if you're just not going to listen to it? And that was my first clue that he was an agent, because he said he wasn't atheist, but it was just weird, and this is my first bout of vegetarian ism. I'm normally a pescatarian, but I had cut out meat, and I had lost weight. You guys saw my Facebook pictures of that time. I'm getting back to that now, actually, how ripped I was, how vascular, and I had finally had veins, I would give him the advice, and he just wouldn't take it. He would, he'd give me a hard time, wouldn't take the advice, and it just, why did you bother asking? And it's anything along these lines. I read the book How to Be an Alpha Male, and I tried to, again, use, because that helped me a lot with confidence, not caring what other people think about you. I was already on the lines, but that made me go head first into not caring what other people think about me. It made me even more headstrong. And I didn't give him the book, but I gave him the advice from the book, and he just wouldn't, it's anything along these lines of spirituality or alpha maleism or, YouTube.
Where?
Yeah. So anything along these lines, he would just give me a hard time. And I just didn't make sense, And I was also giving him advice to help him lose more weight, because again, he is my client for personal training. So I would give him advice, he wouldn't take it, and I just didn't argue with him with that, because I was like, hey, he's paying me. So, I was giving him advice to, no trainer does that. Like, this is proving that I am genuine. I really try to help my clients lose weight. I don't try to make them lose weight slowly so I get more money out of them. I was trying to get him a faster result so he didn't need me anymore. And he just wouldn't, so it was just mind-boggling. So as 2020 progressed, the arguments kept going. If it was any conspiracy theory, he got upset because I didn't believe Sandy Hook really happened. And he says I shouldn't go around telling people that it didn't happen. I don't go around telling people that. I just said, he assumes that I go around doing stuff just because I have the belief of something that's not mainstream. I just said I don't believe it happened, and I gave my reasons why. But I didn't go around saying this didn't happen. So one day he decides to start an argument about this, and it's another time it was in 2021. So all right, so this is 2020 still. So fast forward to 2021, and I'm working all these hours, and I stopped talking to him. Not stopped talking to him, but I stopped talking to him as much because I was like, we're arguing way too much. Look, we don't have to talk every day. In 2020 and 2019, we were talking every single day. It was like, if you guys are pro wrestling fans, you guys remember the Rockers, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. That's my favorite tag team. Well, one of the things that led to their breakup was they were together 24/7. They were in the same hotel room, talking to each other, in the ring together because they were a tag team, and it took a toll. They started to get tired of each other. Same thing was happening. And then I would suggest us to take a break from each other, and he would get so mad, and he would insist that we don't take a break from each other. And it's like, why is this guy obsessed with me, And so we finally convinced him to take a break from each other, and then he still messages me. So I was just like, yo, what is up with this guy? It's like that Christmas before that, so Christmas of 2020, I was meditating, and in my meditation it told me that he might be an agent, sent to keep an eye on me, and lower my vibration by starting these meaningless arguments. And he has suggested edging, and I said no, because like I said in my past videos, semen retention, I'm not that big into masturbating. I just, and he wanted to do it with me, in the same room. No, hell no, I'm not doing that. He was just being completely ridiculous, and it just kept going on and on and on. So that's when I started getting videos of semen retention, and I suggested that to him. This is even better, and then he get mad, and another argument, so when I first got into alpha maleism, that's what I call alpha maleism, personal development, all that stuff. At the time, spirituality and alpha maleism were separate. Now it seems to be, because now I'm starting to see, it's now semen retention, that's all in the same community now. It all that stuff merged, and it's. But when I first got into it, it wasn't, because I'm going to share in my next video about alpha maleism and sigma maleism. something in the original book, How to Be an Alpha Male, um, but in the book it does say meditate and do affirmations, which is very new agey. So, I'm sorry, I just saw something. My coworkers. So, you know, so I stopped talking to him, and he starts complaining that I stopped talking to him, and I'm like, well, dude, you're pushing me away. I talk to you, you start arguments. So I'm not going to argue with you. I don't come to talk to you to argue with you, you know. So, he'll say, okay, we'll stop arguing, and he'll just start another argument again, like I said in my past videos. You know, one blatant time he did this was the whole Alex Jones and Sandy Hook thing. One night I messaged him, "Hey, Ernest, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing good. Newsflash: Sandy Hook and Alex Jones. Da, 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 da. If you guys saw my video on who do you trust, you see in that video I say I do not trust Alex Jones. I don't follow that guy. So I was like, okay, Ernest, that's fine. How are you doing? I don't care about that. He just kept going on about Alex Jones and Sandy Hook, and you're going to see this, and I'm like, all right, Ernest, bye. I didn't come to argue with you. I come to see how you're doing as a friend, and he, I ended up blocking him. Days later, I unblocked him. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to fight no more, this and that, and then it kept going on and on. So, by then, he had moved to Maine. Well, he had moved to Maine. He had lost his job and went to Maine. Found a job in Maine, and also he could be closer to his mom. So that's why that's the first reason why you haven't seen me and him working out in those pictures, and haven't seen those. So he's a gay man, and we did an OnlyFans for a little bit, and during 2020 we did OnlyFans where we tried it, and it was pictures of me in Speedos trying to get money because I wasn't doing so good in 2020 financially. So with the arguments, I decided, look, I don't want to do this no more because you're giving me a hard time. I don't want to be around you, And he got upset over it. So why are you getting upset over it? Like over something I'm making money for? He volunteered to handle it, but he also said it's fine. I can have all the money, So that was false flag number two, that he was using stuff over my head to try to keep me quiet or try to control me, until I said, fuck it, I'm not being controlled anymore, and when I did that, the arguments persisted. So I stopped doing their OnlyFans. I ended up lying to him and said I started my own without his control, and then he found a trainer up there in Maine. And when he found the trainer, and after knowing him for 2 years, he starts getting comfortable. He starts seeing. I'm a big supporter of gay rights, and I go to Pride events. I'm an ally, and how I am. I'm comfortable with myself, so I try to get other people to be comfortable with themselves as well, which is something else I tried with him, and he just didn't take my advice. So, what happened was he starts asking me to get an erection. while we're working out, bulging, and I said no. And other question, first off, we're working out, okay? He needed to work out to save his life. The doctor has said you need to be consistent with working out, and with the pandemic, it wasn't consistent anymore because we were busy. I was in Connecticut. He had to be up there in Maine. Because one thing, he lived in Massachusetts. Another reason why he went up to Maine is it would come down during weekends was because right when the pandemic happened, right before the lockdown, his bathroom toilet broke, and they never got the supplies to fix it because of the pandemic. So that was the other reason why we were separated. So that happened, and so he starts asking me about it was that, and during the wintertime, the gyms the Plant Fitness we worked at, it was cold. It was fucking freezing. You guys know me very well. I do not like the cold. So I would sometimes wear the tights and spandex, and he would complain about it, because it was supposed to be about, tights and spandex, material. We were trying to make I don't know if I believe I said in my first videos, we were trying to start a movement on tights and speedos because it makes me feel like a superhero. That's why I thought it was cool. But I was never really into singlets. I'd never liked them. Tights, speedos, okay, but singlets, no. There's something I just and some people watch wrestling. Gay men and girls watch it for eye candy, and they like the singlets and speedos. Girls are not as vocal about it. You have to. I did my own research on this by. One thing you gotta learn about me, I study people sometimes. So part of the whole speedo things I do was, to kind of get them to admit to liking him, and a lot of them did. A lot of them first said they didn't like it, but then, Mr. Muscular me starts posting pictures on Facebook, and now all of a sudden they're starting to admit that they liked it. So that's kind of where it started, which ended up me meeting him. So so when it's cold, I'm not going to wear singlets, and I want to work out warm. I want to work out comfortable. Okay, and then he would give me a hard time about that. Before, he said he didn't care about the tights. It could be singlets or tights. He said he didn't care. Then when I started liking tights better, he switched and said, I want to do it in singlets. But that wasn't the agreement. The agreement was it had to be something spandex. And he found ways to make an issue about it. And then all of a sudden, he said it was because of his anxiety. And then one day he just all of a sudden just said, okay, it's fine. You can wear tights, and I just wear singlets. It doesn't matter. So he switched. It was just weird how easy he switched when he said he couldn't switch his mind like that, and it was very odd and eerie. And then it was like, I want to take pictures of bulges while we were working out, and I was like, yo, that's gross, I don't swing that way. I don't feel comfortable doing that. And he was just giving me a hard time. And then Um, then I started hardcore on semen retention, and that was another motivation for him to start arguing with me. And if I got or another thing was if I got a picture of um, myself in speedos, I was going to post on Facebook, or if I even said I got new speedos, they're wrestling trunks, by the way. Um, he would ask for a picture, and I'm like, "Why do you need a picture?" So he again gave me a hard time, and it just everything. We went from arguing once a week to now every day, and it was to the point where taking a break from each other wasn't working. We'd take a break from each other. Next time we talk, bam, again we're arguing, and I would cuss him out and say I didn't want to talk to him again. Um, I did some messed up things trying to get him away from me, and time will pass. Like 2 days will pass, and I'm sorry, and he'll just do the same crap again, and then wonder why I didn't want to talk to him. I was just thinking, why is he so hell bent on being my friend? Why is he so hell bent on Then he would start another argument, worrying about what I'm doing in my own time. If I'm looking up conspiracy theories, if I'm doing this, and I'm like, dude, don't worry about what I'm doing. All right, worry about why you're worried about what I'm doing. It was that kind of thing. And then I used my clairvoyance, and it turned out, yeah, he was an agent, and he was also related to the Kennedys. Something else he revealed to me. So that was another red flag. So I got fed up, and I sent the messages to his trainer in Maine on why he likes the singlets so much, to the point where it was a fetish, and I sent the messages Ernest was talking about and sent it to him, and now he doesn't have. He had 2 trainers. Now he has 0 trainers, and if you disagree with me doing that, that's fine. But that's what I need to do to get him away from me. But at first he wasn't going away. He was still persisting on being friends. It just didn't make sense how much stuff I was doing, and he was still insisting on, being around me, being my friend. And, like I said, my meditation confirmed that, and I used my clairvoyance to confirm that he was an agent. He was sent to lower my vibration. And then when I started progressing in life from semen retention, he was really adamant about doing. He was very adamant about doing that. So it was crazy how when I'm progressing in life, leveling up, he kept really persisting on giving me a hard time, arguing with me, trying to lower my vibration, trying to attack my lifestyle, everything in London. We're in semen, because now it's semen retention, alpha maleism, sigma male, spirituality. That's all like in one thing. And if anything was in those lines, he gave me a hard time. And he was one of those guys that just didn't like people that had the courage to do their own thing, which is something he didn't have. He didn't have the courage to do his own thing. I have to punch back in. Sorry. So because he didn't have the courage to do his own thing, he always attacked me as well. And that's what I was dealing with. So all the people on my Facebook page, if you don't see any more videos or pictures of me and Ernest, that's why. So last week, he actually, my pendulums, I asked if I was going to hear from Ernest again. It said yes. My pendulums are very accurate. And sure enough, he messaged me again, trying to start an argument, and I just said, "See you later, bud," And I've heard from him since, but the pendulum is. It said that he wasn't a direct agent from the Illuminati, but they're doing something to control him. So this agent thing. It's definitely real. He's not a direct minion of the New World Order, but they do have other ways of controlling people, and that's a perfect example. And the more I was progressing with semen retention, the worse the things got, and he was so against it. And like I said, so that's my experience with these agents, or with an agent. And my next video, I'm going to talk about the whole alpha male and sigma male thing. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.